Hello everyone, Glenda Mollett here, and I'm in my craft room with you today, and we're going to do a Whale Done fun fold called Peekaboo Pop-Up Card. And I'm just refreshing to make sure I'm oriented properly before we go. Now this card was cased from Diane Baudin, and the mechanism, I believe, is one of Cindy Brombaugh's mechanisms. So while I'm waiting, it has a bunch of sequins on it, but I ran out of those sequins, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get them in. I have an order that just arrived, so I can quickly check in that order and see if the sequins are in there or if they're still coming. No, they're not in there, so I'll have to go back and add the sequins afterwards, but we can get the entire thing done other than that. So this card, when you open it, there's a little sliding mechanism in that brings the sentiment in, and then I have a piece on the back where you would do the happy birthday and write your words. This card is open, and it has to be open in order to let the mechanism work, because if you see, it slides that inside piece back and forth there. Okay, so we're going to create it. I'm hoping, it's been a while since I made it, so I'm hoping I can remember. Here's the envelope, and it got some mung on the side of it, so just disregard the mung. Okay, so there's the card. Make sure it's there so you can watch. We're going to use Just Jade for the base, and we need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and we're going to score that at 2 3/4. And then we need a piece that's 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and we will score that at 4 1/4. And a piece that is 1 1/4 by 8 1/2, or 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Just hang on. 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 scored at 5 1/2, so that will have a 1/2 inch strip on there. Then we have some designer paper. I haven't cut it yet, apparently. 5 1/4 by 4 for the front, and then we need a 3 by 4 inch piece for inside. We need some to punch a whale out of. And then I have this piece just in case I want to change up the inside a bit, because I use this piece on the inside of this card. So we might just put the turtles flowing around in there instead. That might look cute. Okay, so I just brought it out just because. Okay, then we need some Whisper White that is 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. Some Whisper White to do the sentiment, a piece 5 1/4 by 4 for the back, some rainbow glimmer paper, because each opening has a rainbow glimmer frame around it, so we have to make 3 of those. And we're going to use the stitched rectangle die, and it is B, so this is B here, to do the sentiment. And then we need some rainbow glimmer paper for the whale blow here on the inside. Okay, so first of all, let's put all this over there, put that out of the way, and we will I'll get out the score board and we'll do the scoring. So we need the 4 1/4 by 8 1/4 piece, which is this one, and we're going to score it at 2 3/4. Then we need the 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score that at 4 1/4. And then we need the piece that is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, and we're going to score that at 5 1/2. There we go. Now we need to, I need to cut this to 5 1/4 by 4. So I need it 4 inches this way by 5 1/4 that way. So I'm just going to cut the top off first at 4 inches. So we're left with this, and then I'll use that part on another project. And then I need to cut this down to 5 1/4. And we'll do that quite quickly here. Okay, so there it is, 5 1/4 by 4. Card bases. Okay, so I'm going to take the 8 1/4 inch piece that has a 2 3/4 inch score mark on it. So that's the front. So we need to attach the designer paper to the card front. And because we're going to be cutting a hole in it, and I don't want it to gape around the hole, I'm going to put, it's got to go this way. So it's going to go on here like this. And then we need some extra adhesive right here at this point, so that when we do the cut the hole in there or punch the hole in there, it's going to stick still. There we go. So now I'll just put that right onto the card front. Whoops, a little on the crooked side. Hang on a sec. Get this on here straight. There we go. All right. Now to do the hole, we need the 2 inch circle punch. And you go in from the top and go down as far as you can to get it down there. And then you want to be over a little bit of away. So when I did that, let's see if I can scoot it in there without taking my, no, I'm not going to be able to. It's getting jammed on that. So it went down as far as I could, and then I kind of left a little bit on the side right here. You don't want to go right up against it because you won't have room in there. But where you do this one is where all the other ones are going to be. So just pop that out. And then we'll fold this over and just make sure you line it up on the sides. That's really important, that everything is straight. Okay, so now you're going to take the one that is 8.5 by 5.5, or 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 4 1/4, and we'll make that, fold that. So now this one gets attached in here like that. So we're doing this one now. And we've already done this. So this one attaches on the back and here. So it's loose. Sorry, I'm just hearing a weird noise. Just hang on, please. I'll be right back. Sorry. Hello? Hang on, hang on. Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. I just had to get the phone to hubby. He had knee surgery and he can't move. So I had to go take it. Okay, so now you're going to line this up like this, where it's going to go. And then take a pencil and draw that circle in there. So this is where another piece of that designer paper is going to go. Remember the one I said I was going to put inside? Well, I'm not. It was weird because now I'm going to cover that up. That was really dumb, but that's okay. I'll draw it again. So this has to go on there first. Like that. And then we need to put some in the middle because of course we're going to cut a big hole in it again. Okay, now this is going to go on here. Like that. Now we'll draw the circle. There we go. So now I'll be able to tell where I have to punch that circle, and it should be all the way in. And it is just put it all the way in. Get it in there straight. Okay. Oops. I want to make sure I'm getting it punched in the right spot sideways. Okay. I'll just punch that out. So now when we put this back on, see, they line up perfectly. So let's just go in with my eraser and just go around the outside there and make sure that the pencil mark is gone. Okay, so that's those two things done like that. Now the other one attaches to the back of the front panel like that, but doesn't have a hole punched in it, so we can do that. Okay, so now we've got these, and we're going to need to put I think I did that wrong. Hang on. Okay. We still have one hole to cut in the side. Oh my. I was having heart failure that I had done this wrong, but we don't. Okay, so now this gets attached to here. Now we've made sure that these holes line up. So now we have to make sure that this hole lines up. Okay, so that we cut the hole so it goes through here so you see the one at the back. So line them up again and put a pencil mark in. And then we'll just punch this one out. Now, before I punch, I'm going to make sure that it's the right way up. Yeah. And if I look here, then I know that I'm punching in the right spot. There we go. Get rid of that. Now, this one is going to go on to here, like this. And then that one will go like that. See, now they're all nicely lined up, I hope. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There. Okay. So, let's put some adhesive on this one and get this onto there. And I'm going to put adhesive around this hole because it's going to attach to the front one, and I don't want it to move once it's, like, I don't want it to flap around once we have it on there. I hope this is making sense. I feel like it's a very disjointed video, and I apologize for that. Okay, so now line the holes up. And by lining the holes up, you're lined the front and the inside up, like that. Now when we close this, see that slides? And it's in exactly the right spot. Well, it's out a little like a hair, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, so now we have to do some circles. I have to punch 3 frames, 3 circle frames out. So we need the 2-inch punch first. Where is it? Here it is. The 2-inch punch first. And we're going to punch 3 holes. And make sure you're far enough apart. So I'm going to punch the 2 end ones, and then I'll punch in the middle. That should give us enough room. Yeah. Okay, so that gives you the holes. Now you go in with the 2 1/4 inch punch and repunch those. So now you have your frame. So it's really important to pay attention to where you're punching so that you get them even. Two, and the last one. Oh, of course. Not up high enough. It's okay. We can. There we go. Okay, so now we have our 3 frames. And we have 3 circles of glimmer paper that we can use for another project. We won't be using them on this project. Okay, so we'll put some Tombow on here, and then I will put them off to the side to dry. Because these are going to go around the holes, so I don't want to I don't want to squish the glue when I put it on, so that's why I'm letting it dry till it becomes clear, and then it acts just like little tiny glue dots, which I keep saying every time I do a video. I hope you don't get tired of hearing me say it. Okay. And the 3rd one. You can do a whole line if you want. I just find it easier to do dot, dot, dots. Okay, now I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to pick them up, and I'm going to put them way over there. Then I won't get glue everywhere, because those can go on at the end. Okay, so we've got the front done, and it's attached to the inside. So now we just have to create this part, which is really dirt easy. This card, it really looks like it's harder than it is. And I like that. Okay, so I've just folded over that 1/4 inch flap. And that's going to attach to the back of this one here. Like this, so that when you open it, that inside flap moves, but we have to decorate it first. We need to put the designer paper on there. It goes on there like that. So I'll just get some adhesive. I don't need that anymore. I don't need those. I was cleaning up a bit because things are starting to creep into my work zone. Okay. Okay, we'll change this. We'll put this as the background. This paper is so cute. I love it. I've used so much of it already, and I can't wait to share this class with you because this is a super fun class. Okay, so that's going to go right in there. Make sure the fishes are the right way up. Nope, the fishes are ambidextrous. You need to make sure the seaweed is the right way up. I'm just going to put it on there like that. Now, when we attach that to there, like that, it's hard to hold it. There we are. Then it's going to show through. See? Isn't that cool? Ah, I love it. Okay, so where's the... I need to punch a whale out now. Need the scissors again. And of course I need to find one that's whole. And I'm just going to cut it out first so I don't waste the paper, because you never know when you're going to want a half a whale. Now, get the whale punch out. And this just slides in here, like that. And the longer you take to line it up, the better your punched image is going to be. And then I just kind of gently close it when I get it where I think I want it. Just gently close it to make sure it is exactly where you want it. The tail needs to go down a bit. Yep. There we go. So that gets punched out. And you can't pop this up. This has to be flat, because if you pop it up, it's going to interfere with the opening and closing of the mechanism. So you don't want that. So I just put some adhesive on there. Now I'm going to take this and line it all up so I know where to put the whale. And I think right about there. So now I haven't pushed his tail down, so I can take that off and then push him down. Okay, so now we need that whale again. And we're going to punch out his blowhole. This paper, I tell you, I am so impressed with this Glimmer paper. I love it. I love it. So he's going to have purple blowhole this time. Get some Tombow on the back of that. There we are. Move that out of the way. We'll put this piece on first. And that little hole right there, that's his blowhole. And then this one just kind of goes over here. There we go. Oh, that is so cute. All right, so now to attach it to the rest of the card, because we've got the inside done. So to attach it to the rest of the card, you need to put adhesive on here, and I'm going to use some Terran tape, but oops, I just stuck my fingers in one of the circles. Come on, get off my finger. There. But I've cut the Terran tape down. So I just take off a piece and cut it in half, because I don't want it to hang out past the edge of the card. And we'll just put some from the other way. There we go. Burnish it on there. Do the rabbit ear thing. I thought this card would take me a lot longer to do the video on, but it's not. It's going together really easy, despite the fact that I had to leave you in the lurch there for momentarily. Okay, so now this gets put on here. Just make sure your whale is the right way up. And I'm just going to line it up just slightly over top of that fold, because I want the fold to be in the back, and make sure your top and your bottom are equal. Oops, that moved. Make sure your top and your bottom are equal. moved again. Come on. Now cooperate, please. There. Okay. Oh, yeah. It didn't. It moved again. Okay. Now it's getting serious. That goes there, and that goes there. Line it up. Hold it. Attach it. And remove the rabbit ears. So now, when you close it, there's the whale, and then when you open it, that's where the sentiment is going to be. We haven't done the sentiment yet, but you can do it quite easily by just folding this back like that. Okay, so the sentiment has to go here. Just so I know. So here you go. There's a piece of white, and we'll just do some stamping in there. So piece of white that's going to go on here. So I'm just going to close it, put it where I want it, and close it. Well, actually, I guess it's technically it's open it, and then do a really light pencil mark. Just so I know where to do all the stamping. Okay, so let's open this one up and have a look at what we want to stamp on the inside. Okay, so I have sentiment first, and that's in Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to put that kind of down and over to the side a bit, like that. And then we'll do Calypso Coral and the, what's that called? Jellyfish. Okay, make sure it's mostly in the circle. Over to the side. Oh, I stamped that one off. Uh-oh, that's not going to be nice. That's way too dark. Okay, I'm going to start again. Let me check first to make sure that it's not going to show through. No, it'll be okay. We'll put it on this side. I forgot that I had stamped off the jellyfish first. Okay, let's put the sentiment back on. Now, am I getting this? I better check that I'm stamping it the right way first. Because wouldn't that be funny to have your sentiment stamped upside down? Okay, that's the way I need it. Put the sentiment in there. Get out my dirty paper so I can stamp off that jellyfish first. Stamp it off, and then we'll put it on here. That's better. All right, put that away. And get out the Just Jade to put the fish in. Now these fish, they're kind of ambidextrous, and I love how they've done that because you can put them going wherever you want. There. Fish is added. Now we need the eraser. Take out that circle that we drew. Just be careful when you get to the fishes. Make sure they're dry before you go over top. Okay, so now that can go in the card. And then that will line up in here. Like that. Now, when we open it, there comes the sentiment. Cool. Okay. Something's not right. Something's not sitting properly. Let me do the old bone folder thing. Why is that crooked? Oh, see, I got it in there crooked and it's not sitting down properly. So I will fix that afterwards. I'll just undo it and get that a little bit straighter so that it actually fits. Okay, so now we have to put the circles on. So we've got a purple one, and we've got a yellow and pink one, and the last one is pink. So I think I'm going to put the purple one on the front, purple and blue one, once I get it out of my hand. So you're just going to put it right over top of where your hole is. There. Now that matches with that in there. And then we'll put, come on. Yeah. Okay, this one that's all pink, let's get rid of that. The one that's all pink we'll put right here. This just finishes your holes off. I guess you don't have to if you don't want to, but I like finishing things. There we go. So there's our card. Look at that. All we have left is the back to do. I'll put that off to the side. And we're going to do the back and the envelope. Oh, and I haven't done the happy birthday yet either. I forgot to get the seaweed out. Just have to get a block for it. Oh, man. Okay, there's the back piece and the envelope, which I have no idea where it is. Man, I hope my envelopes arrive soon. I'm just about out of envelopes. Get our dirty paper. Okay, so Just Jade for the seaweed. Put one on this side and one on that side, and then the envelope will be this. I did a couple of them in this corner, so do one and two. And now we get the Calypso Coral out again. And we'll do the jellyfish in full strength this time. Like that. And we'll put him right there. Alrighty. Now let's get rid of the dirty paper. I'll flip the card back over so you can have a look at it. I still have the happy birthday to do. So there's the piece of white for happy birthday. And this happy birthday comes from the Rustic Retreat stamp set. I just recently discovered this stamp set. Look at the awesome sentiments. I can't wait to make a Christmas card with that. Okay, so we're going to go with Pretty Peacock again. I like the fonts on this happy birthday. There we go. This one I did in Just Jade, but I'm changing it up. Okay, so now we have to do that funky little double cut thing to get the die cuts down small enough for the sentiment, because it's quite a big die cut. So you put your die cut where you want it, and I'm going to twist it a bit just so that it doesn't hit a flat surface when it's going through. And then when I'm going to run it through the machine, I'm going to, you can run it all the way through the first time, and then the second time it becomes a little bit more critical that you only put your cutting plate on part of it. There. So now I'll run this through the die cutting machine. When you're making something bigger, it's a little bit more critical where you put it, but when you're making it smaller, it's not quite so bad. So now I'm going to take this and make it smaller. So you just wiggle it around until the stitch part that does the stitch lines goes back in to the holes. It's really easy. It just you move it till it drops down in the holes, and then it doesn't move anymore. Okay, now that I've showed you, I have to turn it. Stick it back in there. Now, I don't like it when I don't like to cut all the way off because it leaves an unnatural cut. So I'm just going to put the plate in that far and cut it. So that's how you cut it down and make it a more manageable size for whatever sentiment you want. So this is going to go up on dimensionals. So we'll just put some dimensional pieces on there. 1, 2, and 3. Take off the liners. Get my card. Put that away before I lose it. And then that'll just go over here. Like that. Now, we just put this on the back. And then we're done. And I will fix the fact that it's crooked after the video is over. So this is called a Peekaboo pop-up card. And it's so fun. And it's really not that hard, but it looks like you spent a lot of time. So there, all that's missing is the sequins, and I don't have any. I ran out. So there you go. Peekaboo pop-up card. Here's the one we just made. And I love this designer paper because it's got so many different backgrounds that you can use. See how this one sits down nice and this one doesn't because it's crooked. That annoys me that I did that. But anyways, there we go. Peekaboo pop-out card. It's one of the cards for my August Whale Done Fun Fold class. I hope you enjoy making the cards. Thank you so much for joining me. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now.